Listen, Dak did not have a great year last year. He was hurt. He had the hamstring injury. He hasn't delivered in the playoffs. He's 2-5. Go check Lamar Jackson's record in the playoffs, by the way. And obviously there's pressure on Dak Prescott, but there's pressure on the entire Cowboys. So hot take artist Cam Newton believes that this season could be Dak's last in Dallas.
So Dak, it will behoove you. You can lose all the weight you want. You can be as healthy as could be. But my man, if you don't go to that NFC Championship this year, or even a Super Bowl, this is your career, bro. We done seen this happen far too many times. And there is a guy by the name of Archivius Manning that is waiting in a city close to Dallas that can't wait.
I like Cam's podcast, actually. He's got a lot of personality.
Really?
He's not wrong here. No, I'm serious. Philly wins the division, Washington second, and Dallas wins. And with this coaching staff, we know coaching matters in the NFL. They win 6 games. I think there's going to be a lot of people that look up and Dallas goes, remember, next year's draft, there are already 5 quarterbacks viewed as first-round guys. 5. Now, and we always have 2 that emerge. I think you have to draft a quarterback if this is an ugly season, and I think it's going to be.
Colin, I hate to bring facts to the table to you and Cam Newton, but do you know what happens if Dallas wants to move off of Dak Prescott after this season?
What?
Right? His dead cap hit would be $129 million. It's not happening. No chance. None. It's a silly, it's just uninformed. He's not going anywhere. Now, the idea, maybe we'll trade him. Yeah, sure. Somebody's going to trade for Dak's contract. Like, listen, don't blame Dak for Dallas's issues. Blame Jerry Jones for giving him the contract.
Remember, though, if Dak with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb posts good offensive numbers, my guess he will.
He will, yeah.
Somebody will come in and eat some of that contract.
I will bet anything you want. I'll move to Chicago. I'll stop short of that. I will bet anything you want that there's no chance Dak Prescott is traded. None. When was the last high-profile quarterback you saw traded of Dak's level? 2 years ago, by the way, he was runner-up MVP, Colin.
Matt Stafford was better.
Matt Stafford never won a playoff game in Detroit. He was like, people were like, oh, he's washed. He's not good. He's not a winner.
Well, people informed. Sean McVey thought he was great. Smart people thought he was great.
Yeah.
Okay. Bringing in Sean McVay in this conversation. All right, and Matthew Stafford. Guys, sorry Cowboys fans, but Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. But no, listen. There's no chance they're going to move on from Dak Prescott, considering all of the money that they just paid him. And no one will want to trade for that contract, because when you trade for that, you now have to give up important draft capital, and you have to pay an insane amount of money. So you really get double hit. When you pay a quarterback a lot of money, whether it's because you're re-signing him or extending him or, free agency or something, at least you don't have to now give up draft capital. And when you pay a quarterback a lot of money, like, those draft picks now really, really matter. If you now trade either players, draft picks, etc., and on top of that, you now immediately have to pay someone an insane amount of money, it puts you in the corner. It just does. And I just can't see, first off, go through the teams right now that would be willing to do that. All right, let's just go through the teams, just the teams. All right. The Bills, I don't think so. The Ravens, I don't think so. The Texans, I don't think so. The Broncos, I don't think so. The Cowboys, the Bears, I don't think so. The Falcons are not going to do this again. I don't think so. Maybe the Cardinals, I don't know. They're not going to pay all that money to do that for now an aging quarterback who potentially didn't even play good with the Cow. They got Kyler. They've kind of already been there. They would just draft another quarterback. Miami Dolphins, Tua, maybe. They paid Tua a lot of money, and this team is already kind of a mess. If they're now looking for another quarterback, they can't take on all this money. There's only so much money. The Cincinnati Bengals, I don't think so. Shane Steichen has seen Dak Prescott. I don't think he's going to be interested in that. He's seeing what he can do with Daniel Jones. And again, they'll probably just try to draft a quarterback, if anything. Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is an interesting one. The Chiefs could move on from Patrick Mahomes in an impossible universe. So obviously not going to happen. The New York Giants, that's going to be their big move right now. Trade for Dak Prescott. I don't think so. The Detroit Lions are going to move on from Jared Goff because they believe that Dak, he's going to be the one that can get him over the hump. I don't think so. Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young probably saved his career, so, good there. Los Angeles Rams, could they move on from Matthew Stafford and get a little bit younger with Dak Prescott? I don't think so. New England Patriots, obviously not. Drake May. The Browns, if the Browns are in a situation, they want to draft a quarterback, they potentially want Manning. So, again, I don't think so. The Jacksonville Jaguars already paid Trevor Lawrence all that money. The Raiders, they paid Geno Smith all that money. The Philadelphia Eagles, obviously not. Green Bay Packers, obviously not. The Saints, probably technically an interesting one. I don't know if Kellen Moore going to want to reunite with Dak Prescott where they had a good relationship and this or that. Dude, a lot of money, a ton of money, draft capital, not going to happen. The 49ers, Brock Purdy, obviously not. The New York Jets, technically right now, here you go. You got the Jets and the Steelers. Technically a possibility. Steelers don't have the money. And again, like they're gonna trade for a quarterback in that position. No, they're gonna draft a quarterback. The Jets, Justin Fields, they're gonna probably try to do that song and dance for a little bit. Not gonna happen. The Chargers, obviously not. The Commanders, obviously not. The Vikings, obviously not. The Bucks, obviously not. And the Seattle Seahawks, even if Sam Darnold ends up being an epic disaster, they drafted a quarterback who they think could potentially be a quarterback of the future. So they're certainly not going to waste their time with Dak Prescott either. So what team is willing to take the contract of Dak Prescott? Like, that's also what team is doing that? Again, you think the Browns are going to do that again with Deshaun Watson? Like, it's just not going to happen. It's absolutely positively not going to happen. If he was getting paid $45 million or something, whatever it is, or if he was going to be a free agent or something, I could understand. Otherwise, it's just too much money, and you would have to give too much up. And I think Jerry Jones also has too much pride. But I do love this stat: wins, losses versus playoff teams, 19-21. That is telling. But besides all of that, now that you guys probably think that I'm this big Dak Prescott hater, I'm actually not, and I just wholeheartedly disagree with Cam Newton in the whole he has to deliver this year. I mean, this team's kind of a mess at this point, and all of a sudden, like people, the vast majority of people think Schottenheimer's a bad coach. That's or they think it was a bad hire, I should say. And so now Dak Prescott has to prove that he can overcome that. Like, that's not really fair to him. Yeah, he's got some weapons now, and the defense should be pretty good, et cetera, et cetera. But he has to this year now is the year that he has to get this team to an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl with a first-year head coach who's 50-some years old. Like, really? Like, this is the cutoff point? Like, of course not. That's absurd. If you actually believe Dak Prescott is a great quarterback, which clearly the Cowboys do, that's why they signed him and paid him all this money, this is not the year that he has to prove himself. That's absurd. That doesn't make any sense from my viewpoint. And I think the Cowboys are going to be exactly what they've been. They're going to have some pretty good games, some pretty bad games. They're going to beat up on some really bad teams, and then they're going to lose to some playoff teams. There you go. It's just going to be the same old. The thing that they're going to, now they have to prove with Schottenheimer right now and Dak Prescott, they're going to prove that they're better than the Commanders or the Eagles or the 49ers or the Rams or, the Vikings, I don't know, Bears, any of these teams that actually have legitimate, maybe not the Bears, but legitimate momentum. This is the year that they're going to be able to beat the Packers, because now they got Pickens and Schottenheimer is going to outcoach Matt LaFleur. I don't know. Everyone believes, Dallas Cowboys fans believe that the Eagles had a stacked roster, that Jalen Hurts is actually not that good of a quarterback, but they had a stacked roster. This is going to be the year that the Cowboys will be able to beat them in the playoffs or something. How does that make sense? Do the Cowboys now have a stacked roster? Does their coaching staff elevate them? I mean, where is it? So I just don't get it. Doesn't make it just. If Dak Prescott was on the final year of his contract, I could understand. But even then, you would say, well, first-year head coach, blah, blah, blah. You would have to really rely back on what were your feelings about Dak leading into this year. If you believed he was a great quarterback, you would give him the benefit of the doubt. If you believed that he was kind of like, on the fringe, you would probably give him a little bit less of the benefit of the doubt, regardless of a first-year head coach. But, it's just, this is a weird moment to say, like, the pressure's all on him right now. Because, like, what about the other years prior when they were winning 12 games? Like, what about those moments? Like, that's when it was. And so you either reach your conclusion about Dak Prescott or you didn't. Like, that's probably where, my real take really lives in. Where it's just like, Dak Prescott is not going to show you something new right now. So if you don't believe that he's that guy, well, then he's not that guy. This year's not going to tell you anything. And if he comes up short this year, I'm not going to use it as proof of him not being good enough. I'll be like, no, I already believed that from the seasons before. Like, this is not the year that he's going to prove it. Doesn't make any sense. None. Zero. And if he does get to an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl, then what are you going to say? Okay, clearly he's good enough. Great, now we're going to keep him. Yippity-doo-dah. And if he doesn't, then you're like, well, there you go, it wasn't good enough. And it's like, well, then what did the other years show you? And you're now using this year? This is the year? This is the prove it year? It's one thing, again, if this was similar to the Philadelphia Eagles in 22, then 23, then 24. 23 was a kind of a rocky year. And then 24, it was like, hey, this team is we believe that we built an amazing team. We got the right coaches. We got the right coordinators. We got you, Saquon. You have AJ. You got Devontae. You got, a great O-line, great defense. This is your prove it year. If you can't get to the Super Bowl, if you can't get over this hump, Sirianni, you're fired. Jalen Hurts, we're going to really consider drafting another quarterback right now. We paid you a bunch of money, but we're coming near the end of the contract, so we can kind of get out from under it. Like, you can make that argument a little bit more. But, like, not so sure that's the case here with the Cowboys. If they made a great hire and went out and got a Harbaugh, they went out and got a Ben Johnson, they in this offseason, they got a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley, and they made like a lot of these moves where you're like, all right, man, like this team, they got the coaches, they got the players, they got everything. It's on. But like Colin said, I believe it's going to be ugly. So why should Dak Prescott have to overcome the ugly? That's not fair. I don't put that on any quarterback then. You have to overcome the ugly. Patrick Mahomes doesn't overcome the ugly. Tom Brady didn't overcome the ugly. Things started getting ugly in his final year with the Bucs. Was Tom Brady able to overcome that? No. In fact, the Dallas Cowboys beat him. And that's why I don't really care about that win in the playoffs, because I'm like, dude, you beat up on a literal sinking ship. Like, okay, congrats. So, yeah. I will not be making Cam Newton clips. It's not my style personally. No judgments to the people who are into that. It's a little intense, a little hot takey, a little dramatic. But yeah, man. I mean, this is who Dak Prescott's been. That's the point. You know who Dak Prescott is. He's been in the league since 16? A decade? I mean, if you don't know who he is right now, then you don't know who he is. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. And to say that he has to deliver this year now, coming off an injury, first year head coach. Okay. Best of luck with that one. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott? Do you think he has to deliver? Otherwise, he's going to be moved somehow, some way. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.